Microphone check. Mic check. Alright. Give me 1 second, y'all. There we go. That's the noise I need to hear right there. That means it's up and running. Let me get this link to the Discord. Microphone check. Microphone check. All right. Sorry about that. Got it going now. All right. So let me just see what screen we on. We are over here. We are in this piece. Check, check. Microphone check. Microphone check. All right. We look like we're running. It looks like we've got sound. All right. Now I just need to get my screen rolling. Go live. Let me just see what screen I need to be on. There we go. And live we go. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Toxic Thoughts, where you get to hear my thoughts while I work. We can all be on some weirdo shit today. Excuse me. You know, how this algorithm, even though I made sure to say that this was not a child's channel, because I don't need that smoke from YouTube algorithm. I don't need that smoke. For real. All right, let me get set up. All right, just getting my stuff in order. I know I got to go through some news because I saw some stuff, but I didn't break it down yet in my head. Like I said, I'm gonna work live. This is a new thing for me, so just bear with me because I'm trying to get a workflow going, and I'll get it better in time. I will definitely get better in time. I just want to... I guess I should be also broadcasting on Twitter and stuff like that, but you know what? I don't feel like doing all that. I'm really supposed to be working anyway. This is not a big-ass party. Okay, so... last night... I'm in the Discord. For those that don't see the screen, I'm in the Discord, and yesterday I had I'd worked live as I typically do. What's going on, everyone? So yeah, I worked live yesterday, right? And I was talking about how the industry, all these idiots, think they understand crypto, but they're all new, right? They think they get it, but they didn't live this yet. And I think I saw news pointing that out. And that's, again, the algorithm proven should be right. Like, okay, so for those of you that do not know, I have been working as an automator or a programmer for years. Because, you know, my music, while it's, for me, I feel it's dope. You know, I think I got some smoke. And at the same time, I'm not the type of person that really promotes. I've never been that like, let me push my shite, or let me beg somebody to listen to my stuff, right? So I just kind of like lay in the cut, do my own thing, and perfect my craft. Like, cause every single day as an MC, I'm practicing. I practice in my head all the time. And then I also make my beats in my head all the time. I record some of them down. And now I'm, like I said, for those of you that watch the show or listen to the show on a regular basis, what's up? I typically practice over and over and over again, visualizing stuff, and then I'll begin to, as I feel comfortable, begin to execute physically what I've been practicing in my head. So recently I've been doing that, growing as a musician in my head, and now figuring out the workflow for how I'm going to automate everything I want to do in production. Now, it just so happens that in doing that, I realized I needed to be able to record that portion later down the line. So what you're seeing now in just me working, and you get to see what I'm doing when I'm working, is no different than that whole thought process. But you get to see the other side of my work, which is, as I make my music and as I begin to promote it and as I need revenue for advertising and all that other good stuff, which you all need, right? If you're a musician or if you're an artist, you're a creative, they love to say that we're starving artists. And there's a reason, because we concentrate on the art and we're hoping for some benefactor to benefit us in letting us just do art, and they just capitalize off the art on the back end. And that's been the kind of leeches, like the leeches in the water. It's kind of like this, no, what's another word for it? Not leech. Kind of like what a lice is, right? Where it's a entity that's just on you, not gonna get off you till something physically removes us, right? Like Spider-Man and the black symbiote, the symbiote, right? When it attached to him, and he wasn't gonna get rid of it. So it's kind of like that. So we've had that relationship with the industry for so long, and I, for years, just couldn't understand that. Like, in my head, because my father was a steel drum player and he lost his music, and it changed his relationship with alcohol and like all that stupid shit, right? So I saw that and I was like, yo, so basically just being a good musician, my dad could play by ear. He knew, like, he could hear a chord in the air. That's how good he was. And he could play the steel drums, and I could see that, and I was like, yo, that's dope, but it doesn't matter because he ain't getting paid off that. And then he's later in his life still like working in bars and doing all that, and I'm like, damn, that's still a hard life, like lugging your equipment in your 50s and 60s. Like, nah, I don't want to do that. But I want to make music. It doesn't change, like, the fire in my head. It don't change. I got something to say. It don't change nothing. It's just it's just what my swag is, right? Everybody has their swag. And if you listen to my tracks always come from a CEO's perspective of swag. I mean, I tried to fit in musically, but that's, I'm not everybody else. As you can see, for how I work and how I'm thinking of, okay, I want to own a piece of an industry. Like, how can I be a mogul if I'm not owning a piece of an industry? And why, and why do I even care about the title? I don't care about the title, but if you don't want that, how can you say you want to be in the music business? See, what they want you to do is focus so much on fighting divide and conquer. Napoleon. That's the archetype of the world we live in, right? Is divide. Everybody needs to be separate. Nobody can win. Somebody's got to lose. The other person's got. All right, I understand that is a truth. For you to succeed, when you're in a capitalist society, you have to capitalize on somebody else. You have to capitalize on labor to be able to get profit, right? And they're always quantifying the numbers. We are now a quantitative number that they're now quantifying out. Like, okay, well, and I'm not, no conspiracy theories, Google, for real. Back up Google. No conspiracy theories. All I'm saying is, there's not going to be a need for as many people in the workforce as there once was. Every transition of technology has proven that. At some point in time, there was a guy that was riding a horse and putting out lamps of oil every morning because they lighted in the afternoon for the street lamps. It wasn't my generation, but that was a thing for them. Go in the 3 a.m. room, the Discord, and blah, 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 you know. So if we're dealing with that, right, and we're dealing with, you know, MG brought up a point of, hey, okay, well, check out what they're doing over here because, you know, look at the financial system and how all the contracts are lies, right? And then you look at it and it's like, okay, I can see the contractual lies that is inflicted on people. The lies of what laws we're dealing with, you know, these maritime things. And if you deal with where you are in society and how society is effectually controlling your steps, then you have to, and you're being programmed, that's what television programming, right? So you're being programmed to think a certain way. What do we see? Nobody wants to talk about automation. Everybody wants to talk about every other problem out there. Nobody wants to talk about automation. I, ladies and gentlemen, have been in automation on a desktop since 2001-ish, 2-ish. You see what year it is now. I have literally been the instrument in desktop automation because I've been using the software and seeing a need for it. That's how I got paid through the 2008 recession as well as graphics by designing and making MySpace layouts. Yeah. The hustle is a hustle, but it really has to be determined on what are you doing? How are you surviving? And the problem we have right now is none of these people are going to tell us any real truths, and that's it. Automation is cutting out our job force quick. And that's why this talk of what I'm talking about today is quantum, is because in the 3 a.m. room in the Discord, in the Musical Geniuses Discord, link is in the description below. To get in that room, you're going to need to do some work and talking in the community before you can get there. But you can, in the general chat, get some things. And when it comes to finances in the cash lane room, you can always talk to me. Right? Because I'm typically around. Especially since I got to watch my funds. And I got to be able to tell y'all, hey, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm seeing. Because I've been telling the people around me. But that's not scalable. I got to scale getting the message out now. I've got to scale the practicum of this and say, hey, let's all test this, right? We all got to become labs. We all got to become businesses. And what I'm trying to do is prove my concept of the digital revolution that has been and now is still provably sound, right? How you make money online has been how you make money online. And the new layer of blockchain that goes on top of it isn't going to change it much. It is going to change it a lot as far as who's in control of the data. It's now going to be distributed in consensus with rich people's servers. You know, that's the thing. Rich people are making sure these servers get built out, and whoever's coin will potentially get pushed out further. It doesn't stop you from being able to find the coin or watching for the right teams out here. And that's another reason why I'm training, showing you what I see. So if you see what I see, we all move, right? Like you said, what's the name? When I move, you move. Ludicrous, right? But instead of some guy popping out all of a sudden and then he's quote unquote rich, which that's just digits in a digital system. So I figured if we take our street vernacular, we take our hustle that we've always had, and we deal with this society, this toxic place we happen to exist in, and we're able to flip their schemes a little bit. I'm not saying that we can outpace them. I'm not saying that we're smarter than them. I'm just saying I think we move different. So when I say that they're dummies, or I'm not trying to disrespect them, but at the same time, don't disrespect our intelligence for seeing something clear as day. Right? How stupid was a computer being in somebody's home? I can literally tell you, I told my staff sergeant, who's going to put a computer in that house? That's stupid. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, sir. Okay. But you know what? All right. We'll see, right? Cocky. So damn cocky. And if you hear cockiness in my voice when I'm talking about crypto, I'm really not trying to do that. But I'm also sick of seeing people be told something is one way, but then want to cash up on it, right? Like that, they push you aside, like, hey, it's bad, watch it, don't do that. Get away from it. Scammers are there. You're going to lose your money. Get away. Let us prop something up for you. Let's us think for you. Because you're chattel. You're sheeple. Regardless if you're whatever political affiliation you want to have, whatever that is, it really doesn't matter between what they care about and what you think they care about. Having been in the industry and kind of watched the edge of it, and you say, oh, well, where are you? I don't see your music popping. Yeah, bruh. If you go, you hear all the stuff coming out about all the things that's happening in the industry and all the people that got them problems and why people have been committing suicide. You thought I wanted any of that smoke. You thought I was going to walk into that. Like, I'm that. You thought that everybody now has a problem with. You thought I wanted to walk into that. You thought that was smart. No, I'm going to move around that. That was a door. What was a radio station? What is it? What literally is a radio station, guys? MG, what do you say? Let's not be cute and clamorous, right? He's right. The reason why I am in the Musical Geniuses room is because MG and some of the guys, like especially Sakim, with the way he drops knowledge, and other brothers. Right now, I don't want to click into the 3 a.m. because we got some other talks going on. I don't want to get flagged by Google right now. But there's some really great brothers dropping some really good bombs on showing what's going on, not just in our finance system, not just in our belief systems, but in our energy and how we move. Let me stop banging on the table because y'all can hear all that. I'm annoyed, man. I'm annoyed that that we've all been placed in a situation where you have to literally suspend your disbelief. Either way you go. You either got to believe in their dream, or believe in your own dream, or believe in the consensus dream, right? The quantum, right? Because this is what this talk is going to be about today. Collective thought is quantum mechanics. We were talking about that in the 3 a.m. And I said I had to stew on that a bit. Because I was thinking about how quantum computers are going to get built out, and we're going to talk about that deeper in a bit, because that's another technology. Again, y'all are looking at stock market stuff. Even though I talk about crypto, don't think I'm not also on the other side. I told you I'm on both sides of this trade. I'm on 3 sides of the trade, actually, because I'm also creating products. I'm also going to be rolling out hardware and technology. That's because I told you single board computers are here. They're small. We can now build things. So if I don't like Roku, I can build my own video top box. And if I want to put automation in it, I'll put automation in a video top box so that it can give me an easier way to watch shows at night without me having to touch a remote control or have things turn off. I have unlimited damn data. Let me run. Right? So we need to build assistance, right? So how can we build workload assistance? Or as I said, I'm learning how to automate my process and getting my day started faster. I'll start showing those screens as well. I'm going to put that into how I record. I'm going to put that in my recording process, right? I'm going to build connections to my to Studio One or FL Studio. And then I'm going to say, hey guys, here's some packages I can open source to you. On GitHub or whatever place is going to be a decentralized. I said right here, note from this live, who's going to be the decentralized GitHub? I'm thinking about this business seriously. But I'm glad MG asks the questions or structures the conversation in a way for us to start really thinking about how do we deliver answers to some real difficult problems. And one of those is collectively, how are we going to earn revenue as we know we aren't really safe in these streets, regardless of if it's from ourselves or from anyone in authority that contain weaponry, right? Then we also got our skies getting ready to be taken over with more and more cameras. We already know more cameras are going into your neighborhoods. So those are going to be the Ring doorbells on Amazon. Amazon wants to decentralize or decouple how they store their stuff. So they're getting into crypto. You're going to see some news. There's some other businesses, and I saw the news, and I'm going to go ahead and map that out. But there's some stuff going on. Companies that are getting into crypto. I believe Apple is one. So Apple getting in, think about that. If Apple has a coin and Apple says, I want to use all of the Apple devices on the planet while you're sleeping as a way to validate transactions, and I'll give you currency. Do you see what they just created? And I'm thinking on the fly right now. If that's the news, I got to go dig into that news. That's what we're going to get into. Like, I'm thinking on the fly, and you're getting to hear these thoughts, picking apart what's going on in the situation in the world, right? So let's start with what a couple things I saw during yesterday, and then we'll get into today's, right? Graphene, this is a business thing, okay? So we'll go on to the business world. Let's go into construction. Construction is automating. I showed you in a couple videos, so I don't have to do that already, right? I did that in a video already. I showed you the robots. I showed you inside the robots. I showed you the fact that what boards are going to be in the robots. So it's going to be Raspberry Pis or any alternatives. Right here, this is graphene. Now, a friend of mine that I used to, a coworker, that I still talk to, and I've got some work I got to work with him on. I've just been trying to get to this point to get at least information out, right? Getting a workflow together. But I have a friend, and he's, pretty wealthy. His family, he's like got generational Asiatic money. And he comes from, you know, a world of investment I had never even thought about. For a recap, one of the videos I told y'all, he's the guy that told me that if I was going to get into technology as stocks, then what I need to do to play and understand a longer term game was to not look at Apple and buy the Apple device. Yes, you can buy that, but the price is kind of high. What you can do is find out what new revolutionary phone is coming that has a new option or something that hasn't been in there before. So let's take the 5G, right? We know 5G phones are blowing up. So this is a great way to do it for the right what's going on right now. 5G is blowing up. So we know 5G devices, we know that the radiation level is going to explode. So if you are understanding that 5G is shorter wavelength bands, and those bands can't stretch further apart. So they're not going to put poles up anymore because that doesn't work for the higher frequencies. What they're going to do is they're going to make what's called a mesh network and piggyback 5G all over the place. Now, in the nanny state that's called New York, New York has gone ahead and said that all of these places, T-Mobile, Verizon, they need to create, because people have to work from home and all the things we figured out with this pandemic, we're now going to need internet to kind of get a little bit more out here. So please make internet cheap. We need it down to $20. Well, they bucked back talking about, oh, we're not going to do that. Meantime, between time, so long as they've laid the foundation of internet, I keep telling y'all, internet is a utility now. And what's going to piggyback on top of that is going to be the future businesses, right? So if I know that the internet utility is there, all that data that I have access to piggyback on, what am I going to now do? I can get a higher flow of data to a location that I reside at, buy a building, rent an office, rent some space that I can have like a storage, and I can put something in there like a 5G device that's close to an outside repository or a roof or something, right? And then you could go with the, I think helium. I'm not promoting it heavy. I mean, I'm talking about it because I want people to know that there's a 5G mesh network coming, right? And what's happening is that technology, now you'll be able to be the supplier of internet and Wi-Fi and get paid for that, and they'll get a cheaper price, an on-demand charge. So the internet will soon be something that you could just walk around and do, and that decouples you being with these other services. If you no longer have to, like, if you can get Wi-Fi everywhere through a system of Wi-Fi networks, and now you can just piggyback off Wi-Fi everywhere you go, and you don't have to pay your phone thing anymore. You don't really need the T-Mobile cell phone. You just need a digital number. So what happens? Oh, thank you. There it is. Note from this one. We're going to need who's going to be the decentralized phone company? Cellular. Yeah, cellular. All right. Cellular voice. VoIP. Or voice over IP provider. Decentralized VoIP. Note. From live. There we go. I'm going to definitely find a way to automate these little notes I want to leave. There we go. And then I'll just put it here so I'm not wasting space. Boom. So, yes. Who's going to be our voice over IP provider in a decentralized way? How are we going to grow that, right? So, back to what we're saying, the 5G, right? So, we know 5G is coming. We know that Everybody's going to be able to hook in. You're going to be able to sell it. You can do it now with the helium. HNT is the symbol for the helium miners. They're popping up all over the place. They have a map and a chart for it. I will get deeper into it as I try to figure out that hustle as well. I've been focusing on the bots, but that'll be the next hustle I work on, is when you got these Wi-Fi companies coming up that you can sell your broadband, right? So it'll be setting up broadband in locations and then setting up remote ping stations for people to ping in. So trying to get into like shopping malls and stuff like that, so that you like get a store, and then you basically become the broadcast provider for the network of the shopping area, and then people just log into your network to be able to do it. So it's kind of jumping ahead of things in ahead of time, and even thinking about real estate different, right? To begin thinking about real estate different. So anyway, why I say this is that what my friend told me was, if you got 5G and you've got these devices, and you've got these devices that are doing something, right? What's the new chip or whatever's going in there to make those things work? What are they now? Is it a new object, or is it something that now they have to scale up? Is like new glass? Is it new this or some new technology? And graphene was a new technology at the time. And he was telling me, he said, you need to be looking at any other company that's starting to manufacture graphene at scale. When they start figuring out how strong graphene is, and they figure out all the ways they can use it, you will have already made money off of the manufacture and the scaling up of the actual product. And like my staff sergeant, I didn't listen. You're going to hear lessons over and over of every time I've missed something that somebody has told me. Every single time a technology comes out, I miss it. And somebody had told me. He told me about graphene. He said they are going to do crazy stuff with this. Now, think about this. Graphene concrete slab poured. Okay, why is this kind of important? Graphene not only can send electricity, graphene can send data. That was the premise. Now, what if your roadways are lined in something that can not only send data, it can send energy? You could be charging your car literally as you drive. You could be sending data everywhere, literally as a pipeline. It would no longer be wires. It would be literal aerial to ground level data highways. Your highways become data super highways. Piggybacking off the ley lines, they will have this next layer of brain activity. Right? Because right now the neurons and the electricity is wires and poles and satellites, air quotes, floating around, right? So graphene is now going to be used as concrete. Again, that now means I have to now look at this and say he was right. But do I think I've missed the boat? No, because I'd already been looking at graphene, because I always pulled that up as a tech object subject to always read on it and keep looking at it. The AI makes sure to keep telling me about things. This lets me know it's ready for scalability. So now I have to put on my research notes for stocks this, so you get it in real time with me. Don't know if this is going to be the thing, but I just know I was warned about it ahead of time, and now I see the scalability of it. So now I got to look at companies that are creating and mass producing graphene that are in the stock market. If you're in the Discord, hey, if you want to do the research, the tribe will be happy. Graphene mass production. Who's doing it? Do they have a stock symbol? Are they a private company? Is somebody talking to them potentially for acquisition? All right. So I don't just talk about crypto. I'm looking at networking, and I'm looking at also the physical network that needs to be created for the digital one that's going to be piggybacking to all the virtual worlds that most people are going to be living in. They're not going to be wanting to live in the real world. I'm telling you, they don't even want to be here now. And as I already showed you, virtual reality addiction is a real thing. And people are going to be addicted in there. And while they're addicted in their world and not wanting to deal with people anymore, and they feel happier in world than they do out of the world, they'll stay in. These are the pipes and superhighways that's going to make that reality, that they can live 24/7 damn near in a digital dream, or a possibility. Because data is going to need to flow, and you can't have hiccups. You can't have your internet just dropping out. That could be shocking, right? So they're going to start reinforcing the grid, stopping the intermittent spurges, and the system will be more aerial. So you're going to be looking at who's developing and delivering the decentralized mesh networks, decentralized 5G. Who's doing it? And there you go, right? There's your money right there. So, and then of course, physical, graphene. Oh, so let's go ahead and start. No, let's go ahead and keep going, because I don't want to do that. That's not really we're doing quantum. That's a thing. I got to go back to that, because now that bridges into my quantum discussion, but we'll do that another day. I want to go deeper into where we're heading now. Polygon debuts their software development kit for building Ethereum compatible chains. So Polygon, that's Matic. I've been talking about it. There's going to be multiple chains. There's going to be cross chains, right? What that means is blockchains, right? You got Ethereum, all these blockchains, all these tickers are their own chains, right? So Ethereum's a blockchain by itself. Bitcoin is a blockchain by itself. Litecoin by itself. So over and over, everything that's on CoinGecko, better yet, here, hold on. Let's just visualize this. Give me a second. Where? Oh, are you serious right now? Oh, there it is. Boom. Right? And then let's go to here. And one of the things I should COING, bang, right? So here, every single one of these is its own chain, right? It has its own code, its own repository, it's its own network. These are all networks, okay? So think like ABC, NBC, CBS, or Apple's network. They have their own network, your own email, you have your own thing. Google has its own network. It has its own thing. Yahoo, right? You got a Yahoo Mail, that's its own network. That's what you're looking at, networks. Those are the same idea, the same premise, except those centralized companies had those servers. These guys are asking other people to say, I'll pay you for keeping our server up. That's the new thing. Okay, that's blockchain. There we go. So so that it's demystified just a little bit, what this is you get paid to be part of the network, so that it makes it a little bit easier for you to understand. There's typically staking or proof of staking now. As these networks get away from being dumb, you'll get paid to be part of the smart network that's doing some smart things, right? Like Ethereum smart contracts. They're starting to begin the smart work. How do robots work? How does my robot send data back and forth? How can I have, say, 25 robots working multiple ghost kitchens, and while they're working those ghost kitchens, all the data for all the food that they prepped needs to be locked in, so I can verify the orders for all the things going to homes. And I got to make sure that the deliveries are happening, so I want to make sure there's a system so I can keep a track of everything that's going on. If I wanted to do that, on my own right now, I'd be paying tens of thousands of dollars for the programming and the infrastructure. And that's me doing it. It's tens of thousands. If anybody else wants to do it, this is millions. Why is it tens of thousands for me? Because I've sat down and figured out it's not about programming it. I can workflow this. I showed y'all the automation program, NIO. Showed you. I show you exactly where I'm heading. I know low code, no code is the next thing. I know it because I've been building with it for years. Here, I'm going to show you a company, right? I'm going to show you just how intense this gets. I wonder if they still NETWORKAUTOMATION. I think they changed their company. Here we go, network automation. They have a company, they have a thing called Automate Desktop. Now, they're not going to show you any screenshots anymore because they're kind of hiding their stuff. But since I know, hold on, since I already know, I start right here. And then I'll just go to images. That's why you'll always see me go to images, right? And I'm hoping they'll show me automation, network automation, and screens. Let me see if it shows me that. Let me put these back to... Yeah, they're trying not to let me see it. You know what? Screw them. I got it. Give me a second. I'll open it up because I got it on my damn... I'll show y'all right now. This is an industrial version. Give me a second. I'm going to try to get something open here. This is workflows. This is repository. Yeah. Let me just open this and let me see what this looks like. If this has anything. So I was working, damn, it doesn't have anything, but you know what? I'm just going to show it to you anyway. Okay, so this is Automate Enterprise. This is one of the legacy things from one of my clients I can still get access to. And I'm very thankful to them because they let me build stuff for them here and there. So as you can see in here, I've got things I can run. I can run files. I can create my variables. I can send message dialog boxes. So like I can do things like this. Like if better yet, if I want to take input, right? Let's say if I want to I think this is not set up exactly. That's fine. I'm going to do, let's say if I want to do input, right? Right, and then I say I want a dialogue with an input box, and I'm gonna say, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say something, right? Input value nothing. I'm just gonna say something. I'm just gonna leave this. What I have to do first is I have to create a variable, right? Let's create a variable, and I'm gonna say something, right? And then the initial value I'm going to leave blank, right? So that way we know there's nothing, right? And then I can say I want this to say something, right? And I want to store this now in that something value, right? And then I want a dialogue. Let's see, DIAL message. There we go. I want a message to pop up, and then it says, I'm saying, and then I want it to use the variable of that something. I'm saying, and then that, right? So then I can run it. Now it popped up over here. Let me drag it over here. I have a dialog box that says say something. And then I'll say HELLOWORLD, which is our typical testing phrase. And then do that. And then I drag this back over because it popped up over there. I'm saying hello world. See? Now that's on my desktop. Now what else can I do? I could fill a database with this, right? I can have a database on my machine and fill it. I can control other machines. I can do a lot of things with something like this. This is the tools I've been using for the last 15 years. Well, now, instead of, the reason why I don't use these that much is because all of this is going into the internet, into the cloud, which is just nothing more than servers. That's what's happening, right? So this revolution that's getting ready to happen is an automated revolution that's getting ready to roll out. And you've got to ask yourself, how ready for this revolution are you? How ready for this revolution are you, period? Like, really? Because every single one of these networks are nothing more than servers saying they want you to be a part of their network, and we'll give you some guap doing so. That changes the landscape. Now, I'm saying not every one of these are going to be the best thing to go into. Again, I'm looking at it from, I really need data stored. I really want to build an application. I really need other people to hold the data for me. I want to have that application running. I'm going to need validators. How do I do this properly? Like, I have to do all of those same things because I need to build an app. In the future, if you're thinking about building an app, there you go. Or I'm going to need to store my music. I want to store my music. I want to turn it into something that when it goes into a video game will play inside the video game, and I can hack my way into video games, bypassing everybody else that now is trying to figure out how you could pierce that huge walled garden. Like, how could you get in gaming before? Ask yourself that question. Like, as a producer, if you wanted to get into Grand Theft Auto, how would you do it? You would have to you have to be managed by somebody that's stroking the back of somebody else. And I'm trying to be nice and politically correct. You know what I mean? Straight up. So there's no handshaking with this. There's no middle ground with this. There is a sort of middle ground because these are companies that are coming out of the woodwork. But remember this. The music industry got destroyed by a kid who was mad at the music industry. Napster was created by a kid that just wanted to share music. MySpace was not supposed to happen. You weren't supposed to, as an artist, be able to be a radio station. That's what nobody gets. And I'll go back to that statement because I jumped over it, which was, what do you need a radio station for? What do you need it for? What does it do? What does it physically do? It broadcasts to an audience that they give you a number that is their audience, and you have to believe that. And then once they have an audience, and once you know that audience, but the only reason they even can say they're important is another census bureau, right? That will be Nielsen ratings, right? So really, some billboard broadcast, whatever, somebody else is watching these guys to make sure they're telling the truth. Because, of course, money at the top, the bankers' money is more important than the people that think they're important, which is the artists and the people scamming the artists. And that is all that these contracts are, scams, to get at your money and to your intellectual property, IP. It's funny how we all have IPs in our homes. We think they're internet protocols. No, you're an IP. You're an intellectual property of the all caps United States. And your all caps straw man that you see on your tax form or those checks they send you, all caps, is the representation of your intellectual property. Plain and simple. Now, we have to deal with that how we deal, right? So, Polygon has a software development kit to go cross-chain. Cross-chain means every single one of these things should be interoperable within this. So am I putting some money behind this? I already have. Not saying that you should. Again, this is no, don't. I have said multiple times on the original versions of all of crypto, if anything, please go and watch every single one of those that say the same thing in the beginning of it, that this is not advice. This is not financial advice. I am just showing you what I'm working with. You make with it as you will. But if I'm talking in software terms and I'm talking in hardware terms and I'm talking about what I physically need for me as a businessman, the practicality is what? I still need it and I'm still hunting. And then I'll start putting it to practice and I'll start testing to see whether or not I can get an app on my phone to call that data up and deliver it. And then I can go ahead and go to Android and start up an account and test the application on my actual live devices. And then I can open it up as a beta and then I can get other, see how this works? Is that not practical? Then I can see how it scales, how many people can be on it. How can we secure up the network more? How do we add to data to the network? How do we pay more people for adding their data to the network? How? We still need to look for infrastructure. How do we do that as a community? That means building some type of data repository that we can all see the things that we're finding, whether it be 3 a.m. stuff or business stuff. How do we see it all and begin to, as a tribe, make business decisions? Financial ones, real ones. Some of us need to be creatives. Who's the business acumen that's going to be handling the business front? And because this is going transparent, ain't none of the artists got to believe a damn thing. Now, CD Baby, as much as you'll hear me say everything about that, I am looking for a company I'm looking to see if there's going to be a company that's going to usurp that in a decentralized way so I can guarantee the scalability of my product. Right now, just believing in CD Baby is not good enough for me. They can get bought out and all my catalog be gobbled up in a contract later down the line. I'm not in actual control of the distribution mechanisms of my product. So who's going to do that in a decentralized way and put it on servers and we can all secure up our own music catalog? And then just have it distributed because we own a network that's making more money than the US dollar, or are part of a network that's better than the US dollar and still getting all of our tracks out. I stopped putting my music out. I stopped really recording music because I think that we're leaving money on the table. We got to keep cranking out work, but that's not how the music industry works. That's just how the music industry works to burn through all the people that want to be in it. But you get pushed aside and they're not even working your catalog no more. Then finally it gets bought by somebody and they put it to work. So what if I could go back, find all the catalog for all the good people that we used to ride with? As kids, and we support their music, because right now we shouldn't have what happens to our rap legends happening, and that's been happening. Either we're being murdered on these streets because we are supporting the message that gets broadcast by their airwaves. And the only way we can get there is if we say the things that will get us broadcasted on their airwaves. But what do their ears are how many for a region? But they might have 100,000 a day. I used to think about that when it came to like touring, right? When I used to think about, okay, how if I'm in New York, right, and I gotta rap, I'm gonna go down to the Village, I'm gonna rap in all these clubs, and I'm gonna rap, and I'm gonna get my name out there. So I started doing that. I went to the studios in Manhattan, started getting my my performance tapes and CDs ready, and then I got all those done, and then this way I'd have my backing tracks when I went into the clubs, so I could just spit over all the loudness, because nobody wants to hear your shit. And then hope, just hope, somebody will buy a $5, $10 CD from you. Or a $20 CD, because, you know, you got to pay for your drinks for the night. And then you got to think about, I did the math one night. I sat in a club, and I was watching a guy performing. And I sat there, and he had been there years. Like, he had been rapping in, that was his club. He was letting me on. I was sitting there like, I got to basically be this dude's roadie. I gotta do whatever I gotta do to try to keep nice with this dude who's a dumbass. And there's like 50 people in here, maybe. And out of that, maybe 20 people actually give a damn about what you're saying or doing. And those 20 are the same 20 from every damn week. And then you have to ask them, back then, you had to basically ask them, if you weren't at the same club every single week, if you did not have a partnership with them to get that door popping, to get people in their location. So you're working in these bars that might have a little cubby hole for you to a little cubby stage that they half-heartedly thought of. Because they really want the second floor popping. They'll use you down there to pull people down there so they can kind of look like they're full for the night. And that was the hustle. And I did the math. Okay, so 50 people per night. Out of there, I might get 2 CDs sold. That's $40. But I had to travel out here. I had to cut out my night. I had to lug this shit. I had to pay for my travel. I had to buy my own drinks. I have to eat while I'm out here because I had to come here earlier enough to get through the door. And I had to eat afterwards when I'm going home because it's 2 o'clock in the morning after a breakdown. So it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I have to eat something. Then I got to smoke some because I got to go to sleep. I'm tired, but I'm not tired. I'm still wired because I have to stay wired to get through taking a train for an hour and change back home from downtown back to Queens. And that was my life, period. Damn, that shit sucked. And I thought about it. I was like, why am I doing this? Who does this shit benefit? Who does it benefit? It don't benefit me. I'm not really getting no numbers. Not at all. No real numbers, not at all. So when it comes to the next revolution of music, I don't believe in the industry. But I also got to ask, okay, what is our course of action? Okay, well, we know what it is. We kind of already know. We need storage for audio, right? So we need to be able to store our audio. It needs to be able to be broadcasted, and it needs to be kind of cheap. So if I can earn money on validating the network, giving me free money to broadcast my content, win-win. And if I can get money from the content doing other things in whatever that is, win-win-win. So I'm looking for, like, I don't know if that's going to be this company or not. Hold on. Let me, where are we? Right here? No. Right here. Right? Control A. Right? I don't know if that's going to be them. They say this, right? Everybody's going to sit there and think this. They think this is important because this is the newest thing that they've just done. That to me is cool, but that's not it. It's the solutions. It's this game solution. Evolve your virtual world. Whatever your world is, whatever game you have, that's Xbox, PlayStation, Madden can use this. Crypto community, right? So Discords, all that other stuff potentially with APIs. And software, your customer experience, websites. Hook it into WordPress and stuff, right? Because WordPress is software. It's not hardware, it's software. It's programming. Blockchain. This is from Microsoft. I knew it. Azure is their server. So that's Microsoft. And you know what Microsoft has, right? That's Xbox, right? Halo, right? Halo, right? Hooking into Halo, right? Okay. Next gen blockchain for NFTs. That's not. See, they changed it. They changed it. They're just trying to talk to you about that because it's important for now. But your closed garden is the old way, right? They're saying games restricted by design limitations of outdated technology and obsolete monetization models, centralized database, play to win, lost revenue, confined design, value depreciation. You build a game, you design stuff in it, you made all the assets in the world, you now gotta keep either hiring your staff to do that or have your staff work on the next game. If you open up the ecosystem and allow anybody to develop for you, Second Life, hint, hint, Second Life that I did, and I kept telling my business partner, the minute that the real world becomes Second Life, we're gonna make a ton of money. I'm gonna get him on a live. Ty Durden, I'm calling it out. Johnny, help me. Make sure you tell Ty. Because I know Johnny's listening. Open ecosystem means you decentralize the database, you play to earn. Play to earn. If I can't make money, we talk about this, right? What did I tell you? America don't make nothing no more. No manufacturing, we got real estate, we got all of the stuff that I showed you yesterday in yesterday's video. Watch when I break down what our product of the United States is. The top line products were all based on jobs. Work was our gross national product. Work is our gross national product. What's on the back of the dollar bill for all debt tendered? Debt. Work off your debt. You're in debt. When you buy when you rent an apartment, you're already in debt every month. It counts. It starts when you cash out that check to give him one and send it over there, and it starts to tick in for the next check, right? You're already in debt. And then the goal and the game of what this capitalist society or any society, all of them are all monetarily driven now. Not driven by the spirit, they're driven by the buck, right? So the buck has to stop somewhere. But it best stop here. The buck, your dollar, better stop at you. And you need to figure out what's the best way to work you. Your time is your only asset at this point if you ain't working or you don't think you're going to have a job much longer. Start looking at other avenues because what other damn choice you got? They're telling you they ain't got nothing. Unemployment rolls are dropping even further. That's a good news. No, that means that unemployment ran out for somebody. And I just saw news about another $1,400 check. That means another some odd $1 billion that they're printing with no new jobs. Do we have more stores closing or opening? Do we have more restaurants opening or closing? Do we have more manufacturing opening or closing that isn't automated? I'm saying how many jobs with physical manual labor are opening or closing? Even. You don't want to hear from my mouth. I'm from New York. I got White Castles. Flippy robot. I got White Castles flipping burgers. The new White Castle miso burger. I'm going to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booyah. This is the new White Castle. Miso robotics, right? Miso robotics, people. I've been waiting to be try to hold on this feeling. Look how clean that is for so long. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Okay. So I say again to you. What you gonna say? What you gonna do when automation runs wild on you, brother? Real talk. I make fun of this shit because I'm so frustrated. I sound like I'm happy. I sound like I'm just shooting the shit, but no, I have to laugh if not cry, man. Or be frustrated, man. My people suffer for lack of knowledge. My people suffer for lack of knowledge. That truth is in my heart, man. That truth is in my heart. I can't sit there and watch any of you get devoured by a system that doesn't seem to want to give two damns about you. All right? So play to earn, fair monetization, creative freedom, immutable value. What that means is they're telling you that this value prop, whatever you sell, won't be deleted. What if I made a weapon or a car, and that car, I kept souping it up and creating this really cool digital in-world car that can work in multiple worlds because it's built on JavaScript. Right? So now this car is like kit. Let's do that, right? Let's do like a night. No, screw that. I want to build a transformer car, right? And then, so I have a car that I build out to be a transformer car. So I make sure it's kind of that, but I don't tell anybody it's that yet. If they look at the actual 3D model, they might be able to see the joints and everything, but they don't see the joints in anything. So for the most part, the car looks like the car, but then the car has a subcode that can launch the transformer car, right? So that code then I can put in there, put it as a sub process that says, when I transform, swap out the car, his third person view way that you did it before, and we're going to swap out that whole code with this whole new robotic code where your body transforms from car. So maybe we don't even have the joints, but it's your regular car first, then it switches out, swaps out to the other code that has the new joints and all that stuff, and now boom, the car can transform and you can walk in it, right? Then you upgrade it again, and then it gets hand movements, and then you can upgrade it again where it can change out parts for other parts, and then that person can now customize his bot to do something else, and then you give a battle bot code that works, that goes into any of these other platforms that are built off of, say, Unreal or whatever engine, or whatever engine it is, and you take your core code for your battle bot, and since it's, again, basic JavaScript or whatever, and it just basically gets printed into multiple languages to go on multiple platforms all at once. Your battle car is now spread across multiverses. Same code, just being able to be sold, right? That's the old internet. But now the value of the car has been growing because you've added more code, you've done more to it, and you're getting royalties for every car bot you have. And you're going to keep getting royalties as you keep doing that. Now, what if you have that bot now can fight in multiple games, multiple fighting arenas, right? So it can be in a Pokemon battle, or not Pokemon, but let's say it could be in like one of those things that has like all the mixture of anime and Marvel. And what if you could have like these grand arenas where everybody trains their own people in these worlds, and you can move people to other worlds and get new features, and they come back and they're no longer just Spider-Man, they're somebody else, and that person somebody wants because they work better in this arena over here. Like, gamers training people or training Pokemon to battle in battle arenas for real, in virtual worlds for real, like real trainers. Play to earn. Who's the second one? Because I always tell you, it's not just the number one. Number one, number two, Microsoft, Apple. In a new universe? Multiple universes? Right? Reimagine gaming assets. Create assets that are freely tradable. We just talked about that. Truly owned, the person truly owned by gamers, and transferable between games. What did I just say? And I haven't been on the site reading it. I just heard about it, and I envisioned how I would use it having already been in a virtual world. I know the economy. I know how it works. You're talking to somebody that knows this innately. Here's the math. Again, just in case people don't understand what I was able to do. In a game called Second Life, it was 266 linden, equaled $1 US. I was making about $500 in world. I was cashing out in PayPal every single month. $500. In world, that's how much I was making monthly. Notice it was 266 linden to $1 US. Okay? You see that, right? You see that, right? Is that not $1.77 over the US dollar? So if you're a graphic designer, getting into videos or whatever, content creator, I'd be looking at who's going to be the two people that are going to launch something that can go cross world, and you can make products that will make you consistent passive income. I'm all about passive income, guys, not just buying on hope. So I got to really give Engine a hard look. I've already invested. I have practicality in mind. Do you? Or do you believe that's where it's heading and you want to be able to hedge for when you want to start getting your sound files out for multiple people? Yo, check this out. Here's one. Here we go. Here's a hustle that might happen. What happens if somebody creates a decentralized application that hooked up and you could download MG's NFTs straight to a application layer store, do as a local store to sounds, and you could hook it up and play it like a VST inside whatever thing you were doing. You could download tracks right to it via NFT using your own crypto, never really coming out. And then if you get some other things, you can put it back in there and people could use that and flip that, and they can get a piece of a piece. See, those are the things I want. If it doesn't get built, I want to build it. How do we build our own decentralized VSTs? Ooh, decentralized VSTs. Next! I'm not going to put that down because that's, I don't think that's anywhere near being ready as a thing. As a ting. Right? So, that's why I tell y'all, man, just keep an eye on the top 100. Decentraland might be number 2. Honestly. Why I say top 100, right? Decentraland might be number 2. Go over here. You click into it. You'll see website right up top. Let's click on that. I hold shift and tab. Control and shift on Windows and click into it. This is a low res version, right? But this is a whole virtual world. It's freezing on my screen right now because I'm streaming and it's freezing up. So yeah, this is a whole virtual world. I'm gonna close out the screen because don't need this thing crashing out my system. I close it. I'm hoping it's gonna close on me. I hope I don't close my blockchain now. Hold on. Don't close, please. Don't close. I did hit it again, didn't I? No, good. All right. Hold on. I knew it. I knew it was going to act like a punk. Hold on. Hold on. Come on. Don't kill me, stream. Don't die. Don't go, Shane. I'm still seems like I'm well, am I? Yeah, you see my screen. All right. I still seem to be broadcasting. Let me switch over to... But my screens are freezing now. Damn you, man. All right. I shouldn't have done that. I don't know why. All right, hold on. Let me close some things. Let me see if I can get some power back. Something is lagging my computer up. Give me a second so we can get back into this and I can get back to work. Microsoft, you are taking a little bit of power. Let's kill you. Let's end you. Let's definitely end you. Yeah, I know. We need some power, bruh. We've been playing around with too much stuff and it's been eating up the power. All right, so now we should be... come on. Oh, man. Really? I might have to crash. My stuff's crashing. Oh, this is that bull. Come on. No, I want you to exit. Exit. Jack Uza. What's this? Exit this too. What else is running? Eating up resources. I got too many Google windows open, huh? All right. Damn, man. Check. Damn, man.